We need a clapper.
Take one.
Alright, that wasn't loud enough. That wasn't loud enough. Your cheek needs to be fatter.
The point of the video was kind of just to show a little bit about life here. Originally,
alright, that was a little better.
Graham's blog was about eating the 100
foods that you must try while you're in Korea. I love eating, I love drinking. I've got too much alcohol in my body.
And so one of the things that we had discussed was we need to make a video for the blog.
WordPress.com/eastmeetsmaking. Put in the South in South Korea.
So Graham and I went to go eat pig's feet, also known as
Jokbal.
Jokbal. And we went to a place that was very close to where we lived. And it was relatively a well-known place. But when I was shooting him, it was a little bit weird because you just really had one guy just eating it all by himself. Drinking in Korea is a very strange and interesting experience, and I thought, why not make a video out of it with my 3 best friends? After like a year and a half of just talking about this video, it's like, finally, let's shoot this thing.
So we are at Tango, which it's a new concept for me. It's kind of like a bar, and I'm used to more North American bars where you come in, you order, and you get your drinks given to you by a waiter or waitress. Here it's actually self-serve, so behind me you'll see a whole bunch of refrigerators. You just kind of come in, you take what you want, and then at the end when you're leaving, they just kind of count up how many you have based on the prices, and they charge you.
Start off on this end. You got your cheap domestic stuff, German beers, dark beers, Thai beers. Then we're getting into the darker section, okay, which includes more fruity numbers for the ladies. And leading up to the baller, 9,000 won, 10,000 won, looking at 12,000 won for some Japanese stuff. Because finally you have the spirits. It's got business cards taped on the bottles, so these are untouchable to average human mortals.
We're leaving Mekchuchango, which was ilcha, meaning first round, on our way to icha, meaning second round. In Korean drinking culture, you tend to bounce around from bar to bar. Some people say it's because there's lots of options and lots of different atmospheres. I prefer to think it's because you get hammered at one place and embarrass yourself and need to move to a place where people don't hate you anymore. Okay, so here we are at Hanshin Pocha. It started off as like a really just cheap, easy place to go drink outside, literally in a tent. Originally serving just soju and grilled sparrow, oddly enough. Basically a place where people go to pound soju, eat super hot chicken feet, and meet chicks, which I don't really think that chicken feet and hollering at women go together particularly well, but Koreans do, so that's why we're here. So, what do you know about Hanshin Pocha so far?
I've been told that it kind of has a reputation as a place where people come to meet, like men and women come to meet, like pick up girls.
I do live in this area, so I know that it's choked with hookers. And I do know that they frequent this place, particularly after they've, tricked for a night and then they come here late. Also, celebrities come here, I guess, just because it's really well known. I don't know if they're coming.
Probably not at the same time?
No, I think they do come at the same time. They don't want to talk about it, but I think that they're secretly amused by the culture of prostitution and the prostitute cards on the ground and stuff. But I don't know, it's hard to tell. A lot of the women are kind of scandalously dressed anyway, so you never know. Well, That was once attached to a chicken at the bottom of its leg. Oh, there we go. Yeah. That kind of, you can kind of see the toes if you use your imagination. Well, they fall off the bone.
I have a pretty high tolerance for spicy food, but that's like, that level of tolerance is like barely average here in Korea.
I'm hardly an expert when it comes to soju, but there's a lot of customs and cultures that go along when you're drinking soju. So we'll start from the beginning. You have your classic, what is this? Chomchorom. There are several brands and some Koreans have their own preferences, but first things first, you shake it. 흔들어, 흔들어. Actually, I did a really bad job shaking. You should see kind of like a little tornado inside. Oh yeah, there it goes. So the first thing about soju is you never pour your own drink. So I would pour for Richard, and the bottle to Richard, and you would pour for me. And make note that Graham is using 2 hands. That is the customary way to receive the drink. Now when I pour, I have several choices. I could put my hand here, on my elbow, or even on my chest. Apparently it's because back in the day Koreans wore hanbok, so it had really long sleeves, so you would pull it back. Now, depending on our relationship between Richard and I, if he was my boss, or even like an uncle or a father, I would not drink actually face to face. We would clink glasses, konbe, and then I would actually turn away and drink my drink.
We are in Kondae, my old haunt, place of living, and it's busy and chaotic as it always is, but it is the home of many a great bar, some of them with human appendage for handles and other fixtures and fittings, and that's where we're going right now for some makgeolli in an artificially distressed kettle.
See, this is the most attractive thing. You get these dog dishes to drink makgeolli on.
So we're drinking makgeolli out of these fantastically distressed cups. As you can see, there's not a single smooth surface on them, which is how it should be drunk. So originally it was considered the working class drink, the equivalent of gin, originally what gin was, but it's had a kind of resurgence recently of respectability. So it's unfiltered, unlike the kind of soju clear liquors that they have. But I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, if something's unfiltered.
It adds taste, for your drink.
Right, so it's unfiltered, for better or worse. So it has a kind of creamy texture, as you can see. Still tastes good.
Tell me about Cock Bar.
It was one of my regular haunts. They do amazing chon, both kimchi and
What is
kamjang.
chon?
Chon is erroneously referred to as Korean pizza sometimes. Pancake is probably a closer translation.
I think savory pancake is the most accurate description of Jun.
But it's incredibly delicious. In fact, here comes one right now.
Justice. Looking good.
Oh, look at this chunky boy.
So what size did we get? Fucking metal as shit.
Oh man, that dongdongju, whoa.
It's 4 a.m.
We're one member down.
I'm out.
The Norebang was too much. It was ridiculous. It's down to 3 guys. It's down to Richard singing alone.
I didn't think we'd make it to this point. But it's all right. That's the point of this video. It was just kind of for fun and a documentation of a night in Seoul and drinking and Norebang and having some fun, and people come and go, people drop out. A night in Korea is probably going to end with a bad hangover. It's going to end with you visiting several places and not remembering all the places that you visited.
The Fury. Drunk!
Sometimes you find yourself at the Han River when the sun is rising. It's a good ending. It's another day, and that's an experience in Seoul.